I was so wrong about this brand. What is going on today, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, today we are going to be comparing two Schecters that I currently have here in the home studio. I have the John Brown Signature Tao-6, and I'm putting it up against the Sunset 6 Extreme. Now, both of these guitars have a lot of similarities and a few differences. We'll go over those in the video. But first and foremost, I want you to pay attention to the sound samples, the tones that we have here in the video to help you make a better decision, a better informed decision if you're looking at both of these guitars, or you just have Schecter in your sights and you're not sure which way to go. Maybe I can help you out there too. If you have any interest in checking these guitars out further, check out the links below. I've got them down there. You can see these guitars for yourself on Zound's website. And if you make a purchase through Zound's, any purchase at all, it supports the channel. It doesn't cost you a penny additional to do so. And I really appreciate it. And it is the holiday season, the season of giving. So if you want to support the channel in any way, check out those links down there. See what they have to offer. You won't be disappointed.
You, the people, have the power to create happiness.
Without further ado, let's get into some sound samples now. I'm going to run both these guitars through Neural DSP's Archetype Rabea amp sim, and I will not be making any adjustments to the sound there at all, so the guitars are going to sound, what they sound like. This is the Sunset 6 Extreme hardtail, and this thing is ridiculous. I don't know why I slept on Schecter for so long. If you're like me, it just went under the radar for me. I just never picked up a Schecter in the stores, never wanted to try one. And I think one of the main reasons for me is just an aesthetic thing, and this is just a personal preference. I'm not a big fan of the 3x3 tuning pegs on a modern guitar. It's understandable for a vintage instrument or an acoustic guitar, of course, or Gibson, whatever. But for me, it's just not my favorite look. So for that reason alone, I just never picked them up, and I thought to myself, it's just not for me. I had no idea how wrong I could possibly be. Schecters are quickly becoming my favorite brand right now. It's just my favorite thing to pick up every day, I've got two in the home studio currently. I've got this Sunset Extreme, and I've got the Tao-6, which I've shown recently in another video. And I just thought I'd compare the tones of the two so you can kind of get a good sense of what they sound like. I mean, this one is nearly half the price of the other one. So the Tao-6 currently retails for, I think, around $1,600 US. This one is $900. For that amount of money, you get so much spec, you cannot afford to not check this out at least. If it's in your price range, or you've been kind of eyeing up Schecter for a while but didn't want to pull the trigger, take a look at this one before you do. I mean, honestly, I'm just giving you my personal opinion, but I think this thing plays, feels, sounds incredible. So we're gonna go over the specs real quick because it's been talked about to death in other videos. But what you've got here is a Nyato body, if I'm saying that right. The satin finish is kind of more in vogue these days, I think, than the high gloss, and it looks incredible. This is great. This is Gray Ghost, this color. You've got 24 jumbo stainless steel frets. You've got the ebony fingerboard. You've got these aluminum circled inlays, which look really cool. 5-piece neck there. I believe it's maple and walnut. You've got Schecter's own brand of locking tuners, which work really good. Hip shot bridge, I believe, and a Graphtech XL nut. So what else do you have? You've got Schecter's their own pickups. These are the Pasadena and the Sunset Strip. They sound really good. Yes, they're articulate. They're not overly high output, I would say, so you can get some nice edge of breakup type stuff, something that's not as high gain if you want to, and you can also drive them pretty hard too. 5-way selector switch, volume knob, and no tone, because for this guitar you don't need it. This thing is just ready to go out of the box. Set it up, put your favorite strings on it. Currently I have this set up in Dadgad tuning with, I believe, 10 to 46 strings, so they're a little slack, but a lot of fun to play with, and you get those nice, easy, genty bends, real nice, which I love to do. As far as the sound goes, playability wise, I would say both of these guitars are pretty much on par with each other. The only real difference you feel in your hands, I would say, is the neck, and it's very minimal. The Sunset 6 Extreme here has their thin, ultra thin C-shaped neck, which just feels perfect. This is by far quickly becoming one of my favorite necks. It just feels so good. It's so comfortable. The finish is great, and you just move around in this thing really easily. So let me put this one aside now. I'll grab the Tao-6, be back in a second, and we'll check that one out too. The only real difference with this one, again, feel-wise, is the neck. This has their ultra-thin U-shaped neck, so it's a little bit flatter on the back side, in that middle back portion. But other than that, they feel pretty much identical in the hand, and if you were to just set one on my lap, if I'm blindfolded, other than the weight, this one's a little bit lighter, I would not know the difference. This has John Brown's signature pickups with Schecter, the Chaos, Breaker, and the Colossus, I believe they're called. And this also has your coil splitting option there with the push-pull volume pot, no tone again, and this one has a 3-way selector switch. But add the 3-way selector to the push-pull and you end up with 6 different possible tone combinations there, which is nice as well. So I will stop talking now and just play a little bit more. Let's do it. This guitar I've gone over extensively in a couple of videos now because I just can't get enough of this thing. It just feels amazing. It's the perfect weight. It's so comfortable, well balanced. It just looks gorgeous, and that dark neck is sick. That's a 5-piece neck. I forget what it's made out of, but it just looks beautiful. One other small difference too I would mention, it's really small, is that this has the typical 4-bolt pattern for the neck, while this one has 5. Does it matter? Do I care? Do you care? I don't know, personal preference. I know John Brown had mentioned at one point that, his OCD wouldn't allow him to have the 5-bolt pattern for some reason. I thought that was kind of funny. Whatever. This is the traditional look. It's great. And these are made in different countries. So this is the cheaper guitar here is made in Indonesia. That's not a slight to Indonesia at all. And the more expensive signature model here is made in South Korea. And I have to say that, if I'm looking at both bodies, they look very, very much the same. There's some very minimal, styling differences here. This has some slight carves here, in front of the horns and the scoop outs, and this one is just kind of flat. And yeah, so, just get a sense of what they kind of both look like there. But again, this one's heavier, this one's lighter, and maybe part of that is due in part to the woods that are used. This is a swamp ash body, which I think ash is typically a little bit of a lighter wood than your mahoganies and some of those other ones. And again, it just feels great. I could see myself playing this on stage for hours, just so comfortable. And again, hipshot bridge, Graphtech Nut, which of course I've always got these fret wraps on here because that's just my thing. Yeah, Graphtech Nut. This one has different tuners. It's got hip shot locking tuners, open gear tuners. So if I can get a really nice shot of that, I'll try to, I'll do some B-roll on that because those hip shot tuners are really gorgeous. And this headstock is a little bit different. It's got that kind of mayonnaise looking cutout in it, whatever. I love this thing, man. I just can't get enough of the John Brown guitar. Sounds great, feels great. let's jump back to the other guitar because these are just so much fun. I'm having such a good time with these two. It's like I'm rediscovering the guitar right now because these Schecters just play great. They just sound so good. And it's like, shut up, Jay, and just play the guitar. All right, so now let's get some cleans out of these because, you know, some guys want to hear the clean stuff. And you can better hear the differences in the pickups and stuff like that this way anyhow. So I'm going to go neck position on both, volume all the way up. So as you can probably tell from the clip there, the Tao-6 has a little bit more output on both pickups actually. And, you know, so for what it's worth, this is the metal machine. This is the modern gent metal monster. Call it whatever you want. This thing is ready to go on stage, live with you, or for the home recording sessions. You just can't go wrong. So really it boils down to, for me, basically price, aesthetics, the sound, things like that. You know, if money is no object, go with this one. Get this one. This thing is incredible. You know, if you're trying to be a little more practical with your money, or you've bought everybody else gifts for the holiday season and you want to treat yourself to something, you know, you have a few extra bucks to spend, go with the other one, man, because you cannot go wrong with either of these. And again, to be honest, I think I like the Ultra C neck a little bit more than the Ultra D. It just has that normal, natural C-shaped curve to it, kind of like a Fender neck, just a little bit narrower for the kind of modern thing. So I think it's still like 19 millimeter thickness here and 20 here. I think that's what it is. And this one is a little bit heavier, so maybe you like that. It just feels more substantial. I guess it's, you know, due in large part to the kind of wood that's used to build these. But yeah, for, you know, $8.99, whatever, US, this is a killer deal. This thing sounds great and will perform just as well as the other one. I mean, there really is no comparison. I just thought it might be fun to check them both out, you know, because I've got them both here at the home studio right now, and I just can't put them down. I can't stop playing with both of these, man. They're both set to DADGAD tuning. I don't know what more to say. You know, Schecter, knocking it out of the park. These things are great. These are probably gonna knock my Ibanez tier off of, you know, spot number 1, which I've had for many, many years. I put Ibanez up here on a pedestal and like nothing else could reach it. But these Schecters, absolutely, man, absolutely. And for, you know, half the cost, a third of the cost of a prestige, you know, Ibanez, you're getting a killer guitar here. What more do you want? What more do you need, you know? And if you're somebody who likes to swap out stuff, change the pickups. Who cares? I mean, these sound great. There is no need to change these. They sound amazing. You can get any tones you want out of them. So take it for what it's worth. These are just my opinions. And, you know, if your opinion is different, well, yours doesn't matter. I'm just joking, guys. If you like either of these guitars, I've got links in the description below. It won't cost you 1 extra cent to click on those. Check them out at zounds.com. They've got everything you need, and these are both in stock. Consider it a little Christmas gift to me. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I seriously appreciate it. Until next time, I'm out of here. See you.